Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Turngo Anderson. You can also call me Turn or Dr. Turn. We're going to be continuing where we left off from topic leveraging SQL, Python, Power BI, and data ETL analytics for predictive modeling and interactive, eventually interactive dashboards. In our last session, we ran the regression and introduced interactive terms based off on Andrew Hayes's. I showed you this book, Model 3. You can also, get a hold of this book. This is for the Jose's. He wrote extensively on how to do mediation and moderation as well. Now, going back to what we did, this was the p-values that we did. Let me stop this cam. There was an error that I did here, which I caught after the recording, which I think is very important to point out. Uh, this here, let me scroll the way up. This, I see that this was age. Again, this is very, once you are doing copy and paste, be very careful. That can throw you off in your analysis. So I'm going to have to change this because this is for centered mean for age. Here should be centered mean for gender. GD is for gender. I would change this here to gender. That would change the result. Definitely it will of the outcome. So let me just run all. Let me just scroll all the way here. I'm just gonna scroll. You see how the p-values says that everything over here is almost significant. Maybe that may change. So let me run all. Click on run all, and let's see if anything changes. I think there should be a change. There you go. Now you see there's a significant change. Now, had there been I did not catch that, and in the real world, should this happens, you would have presented the wrong output, to your audience. So this is now better. It says that the interaction between BMI and age is not significant. BMI and gender is significant, and BMI interaction between age and gender is not significant. And the full interaction model that is BMI and age and gender is also not significant. It does not predict insulin level. So that is good. Now we're going to continue with the train, test, and split to evaluate, and then we eventually evaluate the three-way interaction model. But first of all, let us uh, split the data set. X train, X test, Y train, Y test, and that will become our train, test, split. Now I'm gonna, I think here I had X bar. Okay, these were in upper cases. So let me just copy that here. I differentiated it from the other one that were only the first letter was an uppercase so that it will make the analysis easier. Or whosoever is following up, let me show you what I did. Like here, see how only the first case is the uppercase? This second one here, I hope it works very well. Yeah, it should. Now here then, I'm just going to say test size should be 30%, and then random state should be 0. Yes, that should work. Now let's run that. Now that is good. So next we will see what we split the data from. Let me just come over here. I'm going to be going up to copy and paste. Again, I'll be careful because see how the first mistake I did from copy and paste. This time I will be much more careful. Scroll the way to the bottom. Then I'll paste that here. Here, let me see. Extract. I think it should be about the same because these values are the same thing here. So let me run that. Okay, that looks okay. For the criterion variable, that's okay. For the regressors, you are seeing 8 here because constant is also included. Let me show you up here. You see, we have age, gender, BMI, that's 3. Then 4 interactive terms are also included. That is 7, then plus the constant. So that is why you are seeing 8 here. That is okay. So next, we will, let me insert a cell above and then change that to Markdown. I will say here we will train the model. Let me just put this in one word. Okay, enter. So I will say regression model. That. Wait a minute. If I change that, it may change it completely. Let me see. Yes, that should work. Linear regression. X train, Y train. X. Y train. And now let's run that. That looks good. Next, we'll predict. Let me enter more blocks here. Let me change this to Markdown, and then here I will say predict test results. Let me just say three-way model test results. Trying three-way model. Let me just change that just so that when I'm scrolling up and down, I will know which section I am in. Three-way I know. Okay, now let's just say YPred. But here I will add 3WM. Just to maintain consistency, which is very important. Predict X test. I'm gonna come down here and then I'll say print YPred 3WM. Let me just copy that and paste, just in case there's a typo in there. I think that should work. This is an array, so let me just type 5, comma that. So let's run that and see. This should come up as one in 1D. So let's diagnose this. Okay, let's try changing this name here and see. Maybe that could be throwing that off. Wait a minute. Let's see. Hold on. Let me just change this here completely. Let me just say that three-way regression model. Oh, you cannot start labeling with that. So regression model, how can I put it? Maybe like that. No, underscore. I'm trying to give it a unique name. hit regression mode, three-way, and something like that to change it. And then I will just say regression mode. And then I'll come down here. Then let me just say delete. I want to delete that variable. This variable here, I don't want to save it anymore. Come over here, run that. Yep, it's done. So let me just say regression mode was three-way predict. Now let's run all. If I run only here, it may not work as a thing. So let's see that. Okay, so this is still not going as I think. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I see what's going on here. I just need just the first five records. On that, let's see. That's better, but let's see. So for some reason, I'm printing the features and not the prediction. So these are the features. So let me check and fix this code real quick. So that looks okay. So let me just show there's no space in here. X test. Yeah, print that here. Let's try that again. See Ronald. Now that's better. Yes, that's better. Oof. Okay, so yes, so we can work with this. We can work with this. That is very better now. Okay, now we have predicted y variable. So now we'll proceed and then see if we can compare our actual and predicted values. To do that, let me see. Let me just change it to a bookmark. I will say here predict x variables x var. Let me just say x variables to avoid confusion here. All values. That is x values. Okay. Let me add more blocks here. Okay, now before we do that, recall, let us bring out the x var head, just to see. Let me just say head. And I'm just going to say maybe 5. So that you know what we're looking. So this is the constant. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That ties with this here. So that is good. And if I type the shape, it should give us that, but that's not necessary for now. And then I'm going to say y var, so I will see the values. Look, again, we're just going to view the head. On that, good. The first four values. Now, remember, these were again, this ties with that. So now we're just gonna come over here. Let me see. Let me just say, oh, you know what? I think I typed that in my previous recording. Let me just copy this here. Where was that? Where was that? Where was that? I don't want to type this again because it's going to take a while to type it. Okay, never mind. Let me just type it in. Don't worry, guys. So what I'm going to type is I'm just going to type view predicted values of for x that is x var from selected 5 rows. Records, that is from the top selected 5 records. All right, so next I'm just going to say print, and I like doing aesthetics. This is going to be a relatively long video, but bear with me. I'm just going to say that up to, let's say, times 50. I'm just trying to bring in that line. And then I'll say here the print predicted x values. Let me just say 3-way model x values. Yes, let me just put that there. 3-way model interaction model. Then I'm going to continue typing. Again, let me just copy this and paste here. Now this video is getting long, so let me just pause and then I will type in all of the codes, and then but what I'm going to type next will be print reg mode right here. Then dot predict, and then I'll copy the values on this table here and then paste it in here. I'm going to do the first line, then the next lines I will just pause this video and then do it to save time, and then I'll show you what I did. So I'm just going to come over here, copy this here. We are trying to predict this value here, okay? So I'm just going to copy that here, paste it in here, then I will just put commas here. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I think that should be that. So let's run that. So let's see, 50 times x, that's y. So times, that is good, times, that is good. So let's run that again. So this is the predicted value. As you can see, it is very close to that. There's the insulin in value. There was the actual insulin value was 14.91, and the predicted value was 14.4. That's a very good prediction. But I'm not going to stop there. Let us do the same thing for the remaining records down here, the remaining 4 records. I'm going to pause this video and repeat the same process to save our time, and I'll be right back. Okay, so let me go over what I did really quick. I copied that and pasted it here and then predicted these values in here. From there, I entered this code here. I just copied it up here. This, just to maintain consistency. And then we viewed this scatter plot here, a scatter plot actual versus predicted values. From here, I went up here. I copied this code that I had up here earlier. Where are you? Yes, right here earlier. In the previous video, I wrote that code. Okay, and then I pasted it here. The goal here was to flatten from 2D to 1D, but here it was for the three-way interaction model. Now, this was our predicted values that we had up here. I mean, the actual values. These are them over here. So now these are the predicted values and these are the difference. So that means that we are kind of um, some values are kind of like way off, but some not that much. Well, that's fair. Okay, so in our next video, we were going to be doing the model evaluation for this three-way interaction model, and then we will compare it with our other regression that we did, and then we'll choose, we'll determine which model we should choose and which not to choose. So let me just, then from there, uh, we will also interpret, uh, the MAE and the like. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.